Welcome to the North Carolina Wesleyan College Writing Center. North Carolina Wesleyan College's administration, faculty, and students are dedicated to upholding the integrity of the academic process and working together to prevent the occurrence of all forms of academic dishonesty, including plagiarism and cheating. This video seeks to explain academic integrity violations, and the consequences of a violation. As the guides for student learning, faculty members are responsible for ensuring that students are prepared to work with sources and each other ethically in the following ways. Design syllabi that make students aware of the academic integrity policy. Explain how the policy applies to the particular course. Hold regular office hours where students can ask questions about academic integrity. Provide resources in class or on MyNCWC that instruct students on the citation style used in the course. Create assignments that mitigate the possibility of plagiarism and cheating. Include all steps of the writing process in major assignment design to help address possible violations before a final project is turned in for grading. Evaluate students' work fairly based on criteria provided to the students on assignment sheets or associated grading rubrics. As a student, you're responsible for making sure that you act ethically as you complete your academic work. Read, understand, and follow North Carolina Wesleyan College's academic integrity policy. Seek help from faculty members and campus resources to ensure that you're following assignment guidelines correctly. Use sources ethically by citing them in the style used in the course. And finally, avoid situations that give you an unfair advantage or that undercut the guidelines put in place to uphold the integrity of an assignment. Plagiarism can be one of the most anxiety-inducing forms of academic dishonesty because students aren't quite sure what counts as plagiarism. The most basic definition of plagiarism is using someone else's work or ideas without giving them credit and claiming implicitly or explicitly that the work and ideas are your own. While this is a good working definition, it can help to review some of the different forms plagiarism can take. One form of plagiarism is turning in work for a grade that does not give credit to any and all outside sources used. For example, you use information from a source but do not put direct quotes and quotation marks or indicate where you paraphrase their ideas. Another form is turning in work for a grade on an individual assignment when all or part of it was created by someone else. For example, you work together with a friend or a classmate on a paper that you were supposed to do on your own. There are some trickier forms of plagiarism that trip students up. One of these is patch writing. Patch writing is turning in work for a grade that gives credit to all sources but doesn't contain any of your own ideas or explanations. Basically, your paper is quote, quote, summary paraphrase, quote, 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 with nothing of you added in. Your professors want to hear your voice and your ideas. Self-plagiarism gives students trouble because it's turning in work for a grade that you've already submitted for a grade in another class. For example, you wrote a paper for your history class and received a grade on it, but then your English professor assigns a similar paper. Instead of writing a new essay, you turn in the history paper. Even though this is your work, you can't double dip. The whole purpose of an assignment is to help you learn and improve. If you turn in the same paper over and over again, you're not learning or improving. Plagiarism may be willful, plagiarism that's done on purpose, or accidental, plagiarism that was unintentional. Accidental plagiarism usually happens when a student doesn't have enough knowledge about plagiarism or how to give credit to sources. It can also occur if a student has read a lot about their topic but hasn't taken careful notes on where they got their information. Because it's almost impossible for an instructor to know if plagiarism is willful or accidental, accidental plagiarism is still plagiarism and can lead to disciplinary action. When using sources for more creative projects, there are some terms you need to understand: copyright, fair use, and public domain. Copyright refers to the legal protections awarded to creators of original written, audio, and visual works. When a copyrighted work is used without the permission of the creator, This is called copyright infringement. Even if you cite a work correctly, you may still be committing copyright infringement. If you use a work without permission and do not give credit to the creator, you are also committing plagiarism. Fair use allows for the limited use of copyrighted materials in certain circumstances as long as credit is given to the creator of the materials. When deciding if what you are doing is fair use, ask yourself the following questions. Am I using this material for commercial or educational purposes? Using a work to complete a class project is usually considered fair use. Once you plan to profit financially, it becomes copyright infringement. Is the material a factual or creative work? The more creative a work is, the less likely it is to fall under fair use. How much of the work will I be using? Giving credit to the creator is not enough to guarantee fair use if you have used a substantial portion of a work in your project. How will my use affect the value of the work? If your use of the work will negatively affect its current or future value for its creator, then it's not considered fair use. Is my use of the work transformative? Satirical and digital remix projects tend to be considered fair use. In these cases, you're creating something new by changing the meaning of the work, adding to it, or providing criticism. Works in the public domain are not protected by copyright, either because the creator chose not to protect the work or because the copyright has been allowed to expire. These works are free to use. However, you may still need to give credit to the creator. Sites like the Creative Commons offer copyright-free materials and provide rules for citing these materials. If you're using works from the public domain in an academic project, you will be expected to acknowledge that the material is not your own and provide citations where possible. While not illegal, not giving credit could still lead to an academic integrity violation. Cheating is a form of academic dishonesty, the definition of which you may take for granted. After all, you've been warned about cheating since preschool, right? However, it can be a little more complicated. Cheating is any act that gives you or another student an unfair advantage. Some of the common forms of cheating include the following. First, knowingly permitting your work to be submitted by another student as their own work. So you lend or give your paper to a friend or classmate and they turn it in as their own. Violating procedures dictated by the professor to protect the integrity of the assignment. For example, let's say the professor asks you to turn in the articles that you've used in your paper, but you choose not to. Lying in order to gain time on an assignment. Let's say you have 1 hour left before your paper is due, but you're not ready. Claiming that you have computer problems or car trouble when you don't is cheating. And finally, destroying or monopolizing resources to keep other students from gaining access to them or to sabotage their work. For example, you know that a classmate has chosen a topic similar to yours, so you reserve every book in the library on the subject to keep them from being able to use them. Academic collaboration is an important and exciting part of the college experience. However, some forms of collaboration may be a violation of academic integrity. The best thing to do is to talk to your instructor about what forms you're allowed to practice in your course. Here are some examples of what are usually considered appropriate and inappropriate collaboration. Some forms of appropriate collaboration include reviewing a classmate's work during an in-class peer review, group work assigned by the professor, visiting the writing center, math lab, and other academic support services, and forming a study group to review for a test. Some forms of inappropriate collaboration include working with a group to complete an individual assignment, asking a friend or classmate to do your work for you, or sharing assignment sheets and tests with students in a different section of the course. While we hope it never happens, you need to be aware of the process that occurs when you are accused of an academic integrity violation. When a faculty member believes an academic integrity violation has occurred, they will discuss with the student the reason for their suspicions. The student will be given the opportunity to respond and explain any circumstances they believe the faculty member needs to consider with regards to the situation. Following the discussion, the faculty member will make a decision as to whether the student committed a violation. If a faculty member determines a student is guilty of cheating or plagiarism, they will submit a written report to the registrar with copies for the student. This report will be filed in the student's permanent folder. The following penalties for cheating and plagiarism will apply. On the first offense, the student will not receive credit for the work involved. On the second offense, the student will receive a grade of F in the course where the violation occurred. On the third offense, the student will be suspended for 1 semester and receive an F in all current courses. And on the fourth offense, the student will be expelled from the college and receive an F in all current courses. Students may appeal all decisions for review by the Academic Policy Committee within 8 weeks of the last day of the course. This committee will review the charges, consider the evidence, and either uphold or overturn the decision. However, they will not have the right to change the penalty. All decisions by the Academic Policy Committee will be by majority vote. More information and details on academic integrity violations can be found in your North Carolina Wesleyan College Student Handbook. Thanks for watching. Companion handouts on academic integrity and understanding plagiarism can be found on our website. If you have any questions about this or any other writing topic, please visit us in the Writing Center. We are located in the Pearsall Library, room 146. Face-to-face and online appointments can be made at ncwc.mywconline.com. We look forward to working with you.